In relationships, recognizing early signs of toxicity is crucial for long-term happiness and emotional well-being. While no relationship is without conflict or occasional miscommunication, there are specific phrases or attitudes that consistently signal deeper issues. These can erode trust, emotional safety, and mutual respect, which are vital pillars of any healthy partnership. Here are 10 things a partner might say that should raise major red flags. If you hear these statements repeatedly or notice behaviors that accompany these kinds of remarks, it's time to reconsider the health of your relationship. For your own good, it might be best to leave before things get worse. 1. I don't need you. At first glance, this statement might sound like independence, but when used in the context of a relationship, it can be emotionally distancing. While it's important for both partners to maintain their individuality and autonomy, a romantic relationship thrives on mutual reliance and emotional connection. When someone says, "I don't need you," they might be undermining the value of your partnership. The subtext of this could be, "You are not essential in my life," which diminishes the mutual respect and appreciation that should exist in a healthy relationship. It's a dismissive statement that can make you feel expendable or irrelevant. A healthy partnership involves both emotional support and the acknowledgement that both people bring value to each other's lives. Why? It's a red flag. This phrase can indicate that your partner is withholding emotional investment, leaving you feeling insecure and undervalued. It may also point to their unwillingness to truly commit or work on the relationship when challenges arise. If this statement is part of a broader pattern of emotional withdrawal, it's time to question whether this relationship is a safe emotional space for you. What you can do. Open a dialogue about how this phrase makes you feel. If your partner continues to devalue your presence, it's worth considering whether the emotional investment is mutual or if you're being left emotionally isolated. 2. You can't handle me. This phrase is often thrown around as a way to excuse erratic or disrespectful behavior. It implies that whatever behavior is coming next, whether it's emotional outbursts, jealousy, or manipulation, is something that you need to tolerate because of your partner's self-perceived intensity or complexity. Essentially, it deflects accountability for their actions and frames any conflict as your inability to manage their strong personality. Why? It's a red flag. People who say, "You can't handle me," are often trying to set the stage for unpredictable or unreasonable behavior. This can include emotional manipulation, volatility, or toxic traits. Instead of working together to resolve issues, they might be preemptively blaming you for not being able to cope with their destructive actions. What you can do. Challenge this statement by suggesting that a healthy relationship doesn't involve handling someone. Rather, it should be about mutual respect and understanding. If your partner continues to use this phrase to excuse bad behavior, it may indicate a lack of self-awareness or emotional maturity on their part. 3. You're too sensitive. This is a classic form of gaslighting, where someone tries to make you doubt your own feelings or perception of reality. If your partner often tells you that you're too sensitive after you express hurt or discomfort, they may be dismissing your emotional needs. This phrase is usually employed when one person doesn't want to acknowledge that their behavior is inappropriate or hurtful. Instead of validating your emotions, they minimize them, making you feel as though you're the problem. Why it's a red flag. Emotionally invalidating comments like this can make you question your own self-worth and judgment. Over time, it can lead to self-doubt, insecurity, and an inability to trust your own feelings. In a healthy relationship, both partners should respect each other's emotional responses even if they don't fully understand them. What you can do. Explain calmly how this phrase affects you. If they continue to disregard your feelings, this may be a sign of emotional manipulation or neglect. Consider whether you want to be with someone who refuses to validate your emotions. 4. All my exes were crazy. When someone says this, it might initially seem like a harmless comment or even a compliment, as if they're implying you're different from the others. However, if someone consistently talks about how crazy all their exes were, It could be a red flag about their inability to take accountability for their role in past relationship conflicts. If all of their previous partners were crazy, it begs the question, what role did they play in those relationships? Is it possible that they are the common denominator? While some people may have genuinely had bad experiences, a pattern of blaming all exes can suggest they are unwilling to reflect on their own behavior or growth. Why it's a red flag. Labeling all exes as crazy can show a lack of emotional maturity and personal responsibility. If someone constantly externalizes blame, it's likely they will do the same to you when conflicts arise. They might also be prone to creating a narrative where they are always the victim, and everyone else is to blame for relationship problems. What you can do. Watch for signs that this person lacks introspection or avoids responsibility for past relationship breakdowns. If they deflect blame rather than own up to their mistakes, you could be in for similar treatment down the line. 5. You're lucky to be with me. This statement reeks of arrogance and superiority. In a healthy relationship, both partners should feel valued and appreciated. If someone makes you feel like you're lucky to be with them, they're placing themselves on a pedestal and implying that you're beneath them. This can erode your self-esteem and lead to an unhealthy dynamic where you're constantly trying to prove your worth. Why it's a red flag. This kind of comment often indicates a lack of humility and mutual respect. A relationship built on an uneven power dynamic, where one person feels superior to the other, is unlikely to foster genuine connection or long-term happiness. Over time, this can lead to feelings of inadequacy and resentment. What you can do. Set boundaries and make it clear that respect and equality are non-negotiable in the relationship. If your partner continues to talk down to you or act superior, it may be time to reevaluate whether this relationship is uplifting or diminishing you. 6 inches, I was joking, don't be so serious. Can be a way to dismiss hurtful comments or behavior. Tiljom. If you loved me, you would. Emotional manipulation or guilt tripping. Yirtupulli. You owe me. Implies a transactional mindset, rather than mutual care. 9/I hate drama, but could indicate a tendency to cause or be involved in drama. 10 inches, you're overreacting. May be an attempt to downplay your valid concerns or feelings. The intent of such content is usually to make viewers aware of behaviors that could lead to unhealthy dynamics in relationships.